Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the recap. Today is the 4th. Um, well, we didn't get the results yesterday, but hopefully we get the results today of the election and uh, and try to stay unbiased. So either way, let's go over the trades today. Today was very slow. This morning the gappers weren't looking too strong, so we only had I think a couple gappers. DRAD was like the only one pretty much that I was watching off the Gapper scanner, and SAVA. Um, that was a bit on the expensive side, but I still took a couple trades on it. Other than that, Uber I was watching. I don't really trade large cap, but Uber, I just had it on watch alongside with LYFT just in case if I see a setup. And I did see a setup on Uber, and I did catch a trade about 50 cents, I believe. So I'll go ahead and show you that. But other than that, let's go ahead and go over the trades. So as you can see in the logbook, right, I had SAVA, VBIV. VBIV I took few shots at it, but it didn't really work out. It was more like a breakout or bailout. And Uber, I had a trade, and KNDI could have been a good move, but I'll show you why and what happened. So SAVA, if we pull that up, if we pull out SAVA real quick, whoops. So SAVA, obviously, it's making higher highs, but it chopped me out around this area right here. So with SAVA, I try to get in, a few tries around like 10.26 and then getting out at 10.13. The reason why you're seeing a big dip is because I only took 250 shares, just because I know how risky this stock could be. So even if I lose like 10, 20 cents on it, it's not going to be a major loss for me, right? Because I'm only taking 250 shares, and that's how I'm mitigating the risk. So for some other folks, it might be different, but for me, this is my risk here. So as you can see, I try to get in around 10.26, which was for the break of this area right here, around this area right here. Let me draw a line real quick. This resistance right here, as you can see, but it kind of did a false breakout and it came back around and broke VWAP. So it took me a couple of tries, but even then I lost on it. But obviously it came back down and it's making higher highs, right? It went all the way from 10.29 to 11.70, right? And some of you may think, why didn't I just hold it, right? Well, how do I know this is the bottom? This is what you got to ask yourself. Is it worth risking all the way from 10.30 all the way to 9.86? I mean, what's next after 9.86? It can go to 9, 8. I mean, how do I know that, right? So it's better to cut your losses and then find, the entry later if it works out, right? For every stock that goes up like this, more come way back down, right? So that was SAVA. Obviously, it's doing very good. But let's see if I had this on watch still. It was still whippy just because there's so many upper wicks and bottom wicks, wicks and upper wicks. So I don't think I would have traded the stock anyways because I don't see a pattern at all. Maybe this area right here, 11.47 for the break of 11.50. But even then, it's just the whippy stock. So next one we had VBIV. This one could have been good if it broke. Actually, it did break that level, I guess. But I took it off watch after it failed and it had no volume coming in. So I was watching this area right here, 250. It took me a few tries, and then once I got in, it broke to 251. Then it came back down, right? And then, as you can see right here, right, getting in at 250, getting out at 249. Same thing was happening multiple times, right? It didn't really work out. So yeah, but eventually I guess the volume was still light, but it's breaking up on low volume. I'm still not going to touch this, even though if I would have saw this later on, I still wouldn't touch it, just because look at the volume, just 8,000, 9,000 shares. That's not enough, right? So the next one was Uber. Uber, I had a run from all the way, there was this area right here, just because was near, and also there was, almost a double top right here as well at 40, 42, and I saw the bids were pretty strong. So I got in at Uber at 40, 48, and I sold at 40.95, and I only took 250 shares. So this brought back some of the losses that I had from VBIV and SAVA, right? Obviously, they were manageable losses because on SAVA, I only took 250 shares. So VBIV was manageable just because, I only had like a cent loss probably on each trade. So Uber, brought down my losses, right? And then KNDI, this is the one that was interesting that I can show you. Let me remove this. So KNDI, right? I got in at 904. No, whoops. I got in at 904, which was around this area right here, just because, there's a double top. And at 9, there was a huge seller. I mean, a major seller. So as soon as the seller broke down, I got in. And I thought, and I only took 250 shares. And I can show you that right here. Anytime I'm taking 250 shares, I mean, that's low shares, right? But that's how I mitigate the risk. But at the same time, when I'm taking 250 shares, I'm usually looking for like at least 30, 40 cents move, just like what I did on Uber. So this broke out and it came back down. And then eventually, I got stopped out just because it broke this candle's low. So I got stopped out. I thought it may come back down just to test this area right here and then break through 9 again, kind of like doing this pattern like this and go in another parabolic move. But that didn't happen. So, this was the day pretty much, right? And if we look at SPY I think is doing decent, right? So SPY had a nice run up, and it kind of broke, higher highs, the high of day, and then went higher. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Choppy day in the small cap, only one stock that was gapping. Other than that, that's pretty much it for me. In terms of my P&L today, it was very manageable. I'm down $97. It is what it is. It's a small manageable loss, right? Keep your losses small and tight, and make sure that your daily loss doesn't exceed maximum of 1%. I mean, try not to hit the 1%, right? Like for me, that $97 is like 0.00, maybe like 6%, a bit over half a percent. So that's what I keep my range from, half to a 1% max, right? I try to keep it more towards the 0.5%, and that's how you survive, and that's how you live to trade another day, right? So that's it from me, guys. Hopefully everyone is cool out there too, and I will see you tomorrow.